Well, that's the no name, which I'm calling 312 because it has the flyer smoke. The 312 is now old enough to smoke after it put a few gray hairs on my head. Apparently I had a bad volt regulator. I was trying to use an old one and it was too old, so I tossed it and got a new one. And then I still wasn't getting power, so I brought in my heavy-duty clamps and found that because of temporary using these alligator clamp leads, they're too light of wire, and the wire was actually warm, and I wasn't able to handle the amperage, so I went to my heavier-duty clamps. Now I've got it up to where I've got about 8.5 volts going into the heater, and the heater's reacting to that. 6.5 volts to the heater, which is a little hot. This is a heavy wrap. Remember, it was a thick angel hair. So my feeling is now you see how it goes away. I don't have enough temperature. So that means I may have to actually increase this if I can, and it looks like I'm down to where I can't. In fact, this whole pot doesn't seem to be doing what I want it to, so I may have to revisit my entire lid here before too long. But in any case, I can come down here and crank it up. I don't like to, but I can get it up to 6 at idle, if I can. Ooh, I don't know how much it's taking. There's 5.9. I really don't want to go much further. There's some smoke now, see? Now when I crank it up, I got 7, so I got gobs and gobs of smoke. And the challenge here is I'm out of control. There's no way I can turn it down. So my board isn't working right. I'm not sure what. I think the thermistor may not be positioned close enough to the heater. I think in all the movements it's probably too far away from it, so it's not getting the feedback that it needs. So I got too much angel hair in there anyway. I got some leaks around the sides. I didn't put the gasket material in, so I'm going to take it down, clean it up, cut back on the angel hair, rewrap it, and get it back to where I think it needs to be, and then reset it because, there it just completely fell off the table. Okay, so it's not, it's not perfectly set up for this. It needs to be in the tender, buttoned down with hard wiring. Here I just didn't get the heat I wanted, so I thought I'd experiment, and I found this particular lead initially was dirty. My clamp would clamp it, but it was so dirty I didn't get any amps going through it, so I had to get my little chunk of sandpaper and sand it down, clean it up, get it clamped, got power flow okay, and I just worked my way back up until I finally got what I needed. And okay, we have a nice motor, nice cool operation, a little warm, probably overrunning because of all this gazachkas here. Dan has mailed me 10 new motor control boards, so I probably will not be using these older boards, which I think is probably a good idea. I'm climbing on to 2 rectifiers just to get the thing done. So okay, been thinking about how to put this together. What am I going to put in it? And it looks like I'm going to use the real tender for this guy and the plastic tender for the other guy, since he's got the plastic 3D printed smoke. He's gonna be more of the avant-garde, all red parts. This guy will be more of the legacy parts. So I'm going to pull his tender frame out and start fitting the adapters to it and building up his tender. But we got him to smoke. That was the main objective. He needs a fan motor and a plate in order to test his smoke. And I have them. I just have to find them and pull one out. I don't want to rob anybody else. I like to keep everything running that I have. So this is where we're at. We have smoke. It's not optimized. I was rushing to get the thing built by the end of the day, and probably, you know how that works. It never really works. So I should learn by now, right? But at any rate, we have the nice motor from Jim. We have the smoke. We have the lid. I will get the lid tuned up, and I'm hoping by Tuesday or so I'll get the new motor control boards, and we'll have a chassis to set up. And so I'd like to get this thing, I'm going to set it up with what I have today as far as I can, even put the tender wheels on, you know, get it rolling. If we can put it on the rails, fine. Without the body potentially, and then maybe with, I don't know, we'll see how far we can get. It's early, it's only 11:30 Sunday, so you know, we have time. I don't know who I got on there, Bob Marley or somebody. At any rate, we're just cruising. Okay, so the 312 is smoke, the 310 does not, and we're moving on. Later, gang.